Hey guys, it's Tartan coming at you with another game of hardcore Minecraft, and picking right back up in our new-ish world. Second video in it, and I recall that in the distance is another portal, so we are going to go there as soon as we figure out if there's anything good that I can make armor-wise out of 3 ingots. But I think you need, it's more than that in order to get anything good out of them. So we're just going to crack these and head to the nether portal. Or rather, the ruined nether portal. Leaving behind my boat somewhere. I like how I move my head around as if that's going to help me find it. I think I just... Oh, here it is. It was cunningly concealed right where I left it. But, not important. I almost left it behind again. Classic. And timeless. I don't need any of this stuff on me. Feathers, maybe. Well, before I figure out what I think I need, of course, why not go to the place that I've identified as an objective, the nether portal. So, obviously, we're still just panning around a little bit. You don't want there to be danger behind you. I haven't been in savannas very often, but, you know, each biome might have its own unique danger, or not. I've got a lot to learn, which is instantly apparent from watching me, I'm sure. But we're going to get up to the nether portal without too much trouble and look out at a sort of stunning vista. We have there the internal cave that we were exploring a little bit. We'll probably head back over there, depending on what we find here. But I do want to go up to the top real quick. Looks like they have a sort of minimized chest there. Okay, I need one more block, so we're gonna birch plank it up. You don't want to leave an ice gold block or... Okay. I don't think you can mine gold with stone, so I ruined it. I'll have to F3 that whenever I go again. A golden apple, which will be nice to have. Obsidian. I suppose I should carry it with me, theoretically. Yeah, obviously it's better for me to have obsidian than some of this other junk. I say obviously. Again, it's not terribly obvious. Oh no, I stepped into the fire. Obviously, I shouldn't have done that. But I should just have it because eventually I'm going to want to build an enchanting table. And of course, just because this nether portal didn't have the stuff that I needed doesn't mean that none of them will. I'll just keep on moving across the landscape. I've got my boat with me. There's another jungle in that direction, but we're just trying to get up high so we can see where an ocean might be, because that's an ocean or any village. Any village is equally good. Or like some shiny things, you know, anything really. We have no inventory space right now, which is, I would call it like dramatically imperfect. We're going to get rid of a couple of the wooden tools to get inventory space, and with one more nugget, that still leaves us short of making any useful iron tools. At least I think it does. We're going to get our torches back out. I need to make more. Yeah, we're just going to make a brace of torches there, and, you know, put our back to the potentially fatal hole in the wall. Speaking of fatal holes in the wall, this is one that's not going to get us, but would have been very bad if I was just running down without looking. But we're just going to grab some torches real quick and run inside here. Once we torch it up a little bit, we'll try to look around. The awkwardness of this landscape is actually kind of a comfort. So there is the telltale sign of a skeleton who's being a jerk, but, you know, is he even going to be able to traverse the place to get to me? It's not terribly clear, and I'm just going to act as though he's not. Okay, he is. It looks like they are really good at doing that sort of diagonal shot. Can I make this jump to get out? Alright, yeah. Gonna make the jump to get out because I didn't have food in my inventory. Well, I'm gonna go back in there because there's iron, but before I do, you know, either they'll follow me out and catch on fire or not. But if I get shot one time, it's not gonna be the end of everything. But we're just going to go ahead and keep on cooking the food because, you know, whenever you stop doing that, when you stop cooking your food in iron, oh, crafting table also, naturally, because you don't smelt the cubes into an ingot, you make it into one. And now that'll let me see if I can get boots just for +2 armor. Seems kind of low. Yeah, if I just wait for a couple more pieces, then I can get considerably more. So I think it's on balance better to wait. I don't think experience is relevant for like your hit points or anything. I think it's just something that you spend on various enchantments. But of course, if you live long enough, then you'll find lots of uses for it. But if you're me, you may act sort of carelessly. But we're gonna get plenty more coal here for the rest of the day, and now I'm just gonna see where that skeleton went. They might have gotten bored and went back to where they came from, into the deep, and I took the stake off of my bar again. These are the sorts of careless things that I am wont to do. And now, even if they are around, they're not going to be able to see me. It's going to give me some freedom to check out an excellent load of iron. This is going to make it all possible. And I think that's going to be just straight up enough iron for armor. There's a lot of coal in here, but again, I don't need to spend my time getting it. We're just going to jump this sort of diagonal way there to make sure that if any baddies do spawn in there, they're going to have a miserable time getting out. And we're just going to pretty quickly get that smelted up. I've got a ton of torches still, just trying to do a little bit of inventory management while we're waiting here. The feathers don't need to be on the hot bar, and only one kind of food does. I'm somewhat inclined to want to make a bucket as well, but I think it's just better off to just go straight for the armor, get our suit up advancement, because that's gonna make me just feel a lot more secure as we head in a little bit more and look for a little more iron. We're gonna pay attention to the scary sound. That's the hiss of an enemy. Alright, after moving away a little bit, we're not seeing any around us, so they're likely underneath us. Not that that's terribly comforting, but perhaps inside this area here and finding it difficult to reach up. But we're just going to go back into this little cave area once we grab our iron, and with one more iron, I'm going to make one more shield. Do I do that now? Yeah, I think we'll make another shield now. That was a little too cheery for me, but this one seems nice and strange, so we'll go to this song instead. And we're just gonna go back in here to take a little look around. Really just looking for any more iron that might be exposed. I don't want to go too far in. I don't think there's a percentage in it. You know, I think it's just that would be a good way to get hurt and not really have any upside. But right now the sky is falling, and that means it'll be time to lay down for the night, and we can just go ahead and crash here. We've got a sort of hard to traverse area around us to protect us, and of course our torches will protect us in the night. And now we're just going to get on with our business. We're just not going to leave that walled up anymore, because we're going to just leave this area here grab all of our stuff and move on to the next place where we see something that could indicate iron, because that's really what we're worried about. That and going to the top. That's right. Wasn't that what I was doing? It was. No further distance than between me and my original train of thought, but I flatter myself that sometimes I manage to connect it anyway. Well, a sort of frantic attempt to recreate the mental steps that led me to where I am, which goes, better or worse depending on the day. This actually seems fine. We're going to, we've got really good light coverage here. I'm going to go further down. I've got my blocks, I've got my food ready, so even if it gets a little bit hairy, we should be able to identify it fairly quickly because of the way this hallway is. Alright, there's the first zombie sound. We're just going to back up a little bit and see if there's maybe a place above us that we didn't notice where they could drop in. And it doesn't look like there is, so we're just going to back up some more and take a little look around, since now we can feel a little bit safer with what's going on. And we're just looking for exposed iron in these passageways, this little natural cavern leading down, and not seeing any at all. It really sounds like there's some bad guys on the other side of this wall, but I don't know how directional the audio is. And, they're not right there. So we're just going to, we're going to learn to deal with it and treat the creaking of old bones with the contempt that it deserves. Now I'm reaching an area where I'm finding a place where I kind of don't want to fall down. So I just need to identify that. The torches will make it less bad to fall, of course, in the event that I do. And now we've got a nice sort of safe cave, but the only thing that I'm finding in it is stuff that I don't care about, right? Like I don't need coal and experience. I mean, I'll always need more coal, but I don't need it like right now. All right, here we go. They can just clip their shots pretty easily through, but shield, reflection, bam, good to go. And we're just going to eat our food up, potentially taunt any to come out and see me if they're around, and continue on torching up the distance. I don't like that sound, but it doesn't look like they can get in at me, so we're now going to come into a place with multiple pathways, so definitely sketch. Want to be sure that we don't do that. Of course, it's not that bad because we know we have this really long safe pathway to run back into. And we're not going to take that fight all the way out there. We're going to... Okay, so 2 big hits and 1 small hit with an axe kills a zombie. The axe does 9, even at stone. So, if they have 20, it may have even been less than that. I need to eventually figure out properly how this game works. But, I'm more of a learn by doing kind of guy. We're just going to move back around this way now. We probably aren't going to get a zombie from this direction immediately, because if there were 2, that was a spider's eyes, I think, not a Enderman. But we do have running water right there. Yeah, it's definitely spider eyes, so we're not too worried about that. And they are hanging out above water, so we're definitely not too worried about it. This is actually really great, because I do need some spiders so that I can get a bow made. And they are, coming right into my trap. I don't have to worry about that sound. I don't have to worry about it because they can't get me. I know they can't. And we've got, okay, yep, they could get me, potentially. But we're going to remember to always look up. Don't think you're safe, just because you've isolated some avenues of attack. Spiders don't really hurt much at all when they hit you, do they? But, so anyway, now that that's there, they wouldn't have dropped, like, a ton of guys on me at one time, I don't think, but they certainly could have done some sort of damage. Do I need copper for literally anything? You know, I might, but it's so ubiquitous that I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to grab this iron real quick. Did I leave my furnaces outside? No, I grabbed them, and they're with me. But 2 isn't enough to make anything out of, because I already made the shield. And 3 would have gotten me a bucket, but we're just going to press onward. Just trying to think of a safe way to take this fight. And we're just going to... Oh, it thinks it's hiding. I understand. This poor spider thought that it was sneaking up on me because it was up high. It didn't understand, you know, like the dynamics at play, which, you know, is sad for the spider, but excellent for me. Often what giant spiders want and what you want won't precisely align. It's sort of important to identify those moments quickly rather than slowly, so that you can, you know, make your dreams come true rather than a spider's dreams. But we're just going to make somebody's dreams come true and engage in a little bit of fear of the deep here. But I'm not going in too far. The point is, I'll be able to find my way out, or not, based on the torches. But we've got like a safe area now to look around a little bit, and I'm looking. I don't really need to manage the inventory right now. Famous last words. I don't think I'm going to find anything that I don't already have on me that's going to be important here for a second. I could get a magma block, but I mean, I definitely need magma blocks eventually, but it's one of those things where I don't think I'm going to want it right away, and I am at a point where space is becoming more of a premium. Creeper! Don't ask me why I said it that way. I don't think I've ever said it that way before. I'm going to try not to say it that way anymore. There's another creeper in here. See, look how elegantly I just said that out loud without doing a weird voice. We're going to go with more of that in the future if we can. They're so quick down here. Okay. There we see in its natural habitat a creeper causing the demise of another creeper. I suppose that they were old enemies and they chose that time to, you know, use the plausible deniability of an attack on an adventurer. And instead, well, there's going to be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing. Don't love the sound of that. There is a veritable smorgasbord of creepers in this hallway, but that growl, okay, there's just a 1-block hole in the wall, and they can probably literally see me through it. There is a vast grotto of pain in there. A lot of enemies. They got creepers out the wazoo. They got this baddie. Can I trick him into just standing there? Alright, new strategy just dropped. Why did I say it that way? You know, it's not a slang that I hate. So not totally safe, but it does stop them from getting all the way in. Of course, the creepers would... Oh god, don't say it. Don't say they would blow that strategy wide open. I've just done it. I normally hate a joke like that, but it did spring into my head by accident. So I wanted to both, you know, tell you that I knew it was lame before I said it, and then let you know that I thought about not saying it and then say it. All of those steps were super important to me for what I can describe as reasons. At least when the creepers blow up the rock, you know, they don't do so much wide damage. All right, skeleton alert. This is serious business, so we're just going to back up a little bit. You don't want to act like a skeleton is some other kind of mob that you don't have to put respect on. They really are serious business, and they can put a hurting on pretty quick. Now, does that mean I'm going to respect them so much that I'm going to, like, protect myself while I'm crafting here? Yeah, maybe. Alright, now we'll have to come in front of me at least, which is either going to be smart or terrible, but we're just going to, no, I need sticks. because my axe is about to pop. So rather than doing it, we're just going to chunk it down. And I need to get a proper shovel also. And then now, if that skeleton is around, yep, there he is. All right, we got a skelly and a creeper. They haven't started fighting each other yet, but they may eventually. That's right, I have established that axes are the go-to for creeper combat. And now, without his backup artillery, this guy's gonna get one shot off. It's not gonna be enough to make anybody pleased with him, you know. He's not gonna be able to write home to his skeleton mom and be like, guess who I put a couple holes in? It was just one, and it didn't really hurt. I got better. And with the creaking of bones, we've got another skeleton down there. And sort of like, we know that there's a bigger grotto over on this side, so we don't want to be totally contemptuous of the area as we're setting it up. And I want to make sure that it's easy for me to run down as well. We don't want any trick jumps to be necessary. Taking a shot, backing up just for some regen. This just goes to show, you know, what I already knew, which is how important it is to have a concept of the battlefield that you're on, and to know your avenues of retreat. Because right now, this skeleton, he is in way over his head. He's never heard of me. He doesn't know that I'm not very smart. He thinks that he is fighting a person who's going to be, you know, vulnerable. Instead, he got into a war with a whole third faction. Got shot in the back by one of his best friends. All while a totally awesome solo plays. Just loving this song. And really taking out a lot of skeletons back to back there. Getting the steak chomping down. And now I want to rotate it out with the cooked mutton, just so we get a little more area here. I'm going to throw down the sticks because I want to pick up a bow if it's here. And it is. All right, now we're going to be able to back up. Did I get redstone? Oh, the bow. The bow's used in the dispenser. Naturally, that makes a lot of sense. But I have, you know, 5 arrows, so we're not going to try to use the bow for every interaction, obviously. We don't have enough arrows for that, although, can I hit them and pick them up? I don't think so. Anyway, if I break what they are stuck into, can I pick them up? No, I think they just literally fall down from gravity. That is alright. I accept that this is the consequence. And we're just going to quickly move through this place here, and that's because we know if, you know, there's not a hole in the ground, we don't have to be too concerned with anything that's happening. We're going to ditch the rotten flesh and grab some more coal. That's just so whenever I decide to take a little break and smelt, we're going to have plenty. Food situation is 12 units. You know, I just need like one more spot on my heart bar. Okay. It's like you want the food that you want to eat spot, and then the food that you need for prolonged combat spot. There's a potential for enemies above us, but I don't think that's going to be like too much of a worry. I've never had them go like, as I say it, I'm like, I've never had them go like real weird vertical on me, but we're going to just play this sort of slow. And he falls down into our house, and it's all over for him, baby blue. But we're going to check out where he came from. We had a torch there. It looks like, ah yes, he would have been a visitor from above. He would have come in there and fallen down. But what we're seeing there is actually grass. So as the creeper is demonstrating, there's an access point on the top up here somewhere. And I think there's going to be an enemy over in this direction. Again, it's just going to be a creeper from what I saw, though, so I'm not terribly worried about it. Because I have a very good escape route down. Like, we can just drop right all the way down there if anything weird happens. We can sort of see their legs. Even if they're Endermen, we've got a good overhang, so I'm not too nervous. I keep on talking about how I'm not nervous. And then I don't move forward, which is just the mark of a confident person. Is this an interpretation of putting on the Ritz? Yes, it is. Wonderful. Love it. No notes. You know, it's one of those things where you ask yourself a question, but you absolutely know the answer in the first place. Anyway, there's a film of this starring Fred Astaire and some other people, and it's embarrassing that I don't know their names too, but it's really wonderful. Watched a lot of what I call old musicals, but they're probably like ancient musicals to the modern audience. But we had them on VHS. If anybody forgot I was old, there's a series of words for you. But a really wonderful movie. I'm not going to like describe the plot to you. First of all, I'd probably get it wrong, but one thing I can tell you about it, and I remember this just very vividly in a way where there's no way that I'm wrong about it, is that this song is in it. And they dance. And if you say any of that is not correct, then I will actually argue with you about it. I'm just so confident that I remember all of those aspects. The what? Okay, so that's a thing. That's you can cause a gravel collapse in that manner. And okay, putting on the gravel. Is that a skeleton's arms I see? He looks like he needs to be shuffled off into the next zombie life. It's not a skeleton, it is a zombie. There we go. He's free now. He can be who he wants to be. Do we have more enemies here? No, we've got water. That's just fine. That area would be a little claustrophobic if we got into a fight there, since there's not enough space to cleanly jump. But, you know, that's not what happened, so we're okay. I'm not sure what the play is here. I think we just... Okay, so what the play is not to go out in the daylight. You know, I had hoped to get more iron than this. But I haven't been seeing it. Still, it's been a fun time. And of course on hardcore, I very rarely do what I did there, where I, did a little bit of crawling underground and being brave, but I just wanted to spice it up a little bit, see what was going on. And while I'm not totally averse to going out in the nighttime, I don't know what time of night it is, and I don't know the terrain at all. And those are considerations that make you not want to go up. You can be brave and you can be confident, but if you don't know what the terrain is around you, there could be big open spaces that promise only despair, and you wouldn't even know about them. Like, what if you fall into a hole where there's lava? What if there are a lot of cats around and you get distracted? What if there's a zombie following up behind you? These are all things that could happen, and that of course did happen right there. I think that one made its way around and that I did not lose sight of him, but I don't know. I like this song though. Good stuff. And I'm really hopeful that further in that room we'll find some iron, because it's been ages and we've been walking a lot downstairs. But it looks like I'm hearing clangs. Maybe there's like a skeleton knife fight going on outside. But anyway, a big run around in here without finding much iron there at the end. But sometimes that's how it goes. And this just shows me too that I can relatively safely make my way through spaces like this. Also, I probably shouldn't have made that backup shield. That was probably a little bit hasty. Also, I left behind my crafting table, but that is just fine. So what I'm gonna do now is just, I had a plan. I needed more planks for more sticks because I needed to make a new pickaxe. I recognized that the pickaxe was running low. You know, that's the sort of thing that wouldn't likely end in abject failure if I hadn't identified it, but it's still good to do. We're just gonna toss the other junk there because it doesn't matter. And this seems like a good space to stop, mouths get a little dry, be a good time to get a drink of water, maybe take the dog for a walk, and we know, never mind, we can't sleep because it's daylight outside now, but when we return, well, first of all, we'll take care of the skeleton, then I'm gonna go back and pick up my bed, and then we'll walk out into the morning and end the video there once I figure out the route in. That's not where I left the bed. The bed's up top. And this is why it's important to pick up your stuff when you leave. Yeah, it's like, that's granite, and I don't have any use for that at all. The thing about granite is that it's stone, you know, and if you're not building with it, it's not the proper kind of stone that you can craft with. At least, besides cosmetic building stuff, I don't know if there's a reason to use granite, but here we come out into the morning and we will go ahead and make our run to the top, and rather, no, I won't. Okay, he is still here in the shadow of the acacia tree, which protects from the sun, but there he goes. I knew he'd pop if he tried to mess around too much in the daylight. And we've got our mutton, we've got an amount of torches, and it's about time to get going into the future, and I think I see an ocean out in the distance. So despite not finding as much iron as I wanted there, we're still getting some progress towards the sort of area that I wish to find, which I probably could have done by staying on the water rather than going underground. I know, how's going underground going to find an ocean? But there we go. That looks like the stony shore of our dreams out in the distance. And that's where we're going to go in the next video. But until then, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I hope you will come and hang out with me in the next video of Hardcore Minecraft. And I say, right as I say I'm going to end the video, well, I mean, obviously first, we're going to get rid of these cows. Do I have space for any of this stuff? No. I finally picked up the leather, which is good. There we go. So we'll have some beef to cook up whenever we take a little furnace break, as we'll do in a little bit. But leather, which will be enough leather for nothing probably, because yeah, because it's the same amounts for the leather gear, so we wouldn't be able to use it anyway. But I left my boat behind. The important thing is that you notice it, and then whenever you start your next video, you'll already have fixed the problem, and you'll, can you make it out of bamboo? No, I just thought I read that. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this one, unless we get a couple of leather from this cow. Come on, don't worry, I only want your resources. You know, I don't think 4 does it. 4 will get us boots, and 1 is considerably more than 0, and so we're going to happily pick them up after I reflect on my failures. There we go. 1 more fragment of armor, but now we've got some boots on. Oh yeah, look at that. stylish brown pants, brown boots, 1 shield, 1 sword, and a sick piece of leather armor. But when we return, we're going to strike out for the ocean. We've got stony shore that way and another stony shore looking thing in the other direction. So we're going to get a lot of furnaces going up. Man, this is disorienting. I'm so bad at conceiving where my movement's supposed to be, especially as I turn the camera. But anyway, I'm not going to inflict that on you anymore. That's going to do it for the video. Just like I promised 10 minutes ago. That's it. I'm done. No more talking from me. 0. Thanks, guys.